Paris, famed as the city of love, romance, lights, art, beautiful architecture, and some of the world's most famous museums.
Every time I go to Paris, it just gets more and more magical. I always imagined that Paris will be a beautiful city, and when I got there, it delivered on every single aspect.
The lifeblood of the city, a river called the Seine. The waters of the river reflect the entire history of the city. Every day, thousands of people use the well-known Bateau Mouche. It is a great way to see Paris from a different point of view, capture memories, and get in contact with the unique character that Paris acquired throughout the centuries. Eiffel Tower was the brainchild of Gustave Eiffel. This iron beast, standing 1,000 feet high, was the tallest building in the world for over 40 years.
No matter where you are in Paris, you can see it. What's interesting is that when you get on top of the Eiffel Tower and you start taking pictures, you are like, what's missing? Oh, the Eiffel Tower, 'cause I am on it.
The Eiffel Tower is amazing. It's very big, and the first time I see the Eiffel Tower, I was shocked. It was magic.
The lights, the views, the architecture is very impressive.
The funny thing about the Eiffel Tower is that when it first went up, Parisians thought it's totally ugly and they couldn't wait for it to be torn down. Following, the French people loved it. In its first year, it attracted almost 2 million people. Nowadays, it's one of the most famous attractions in the world.
Notre Dame, the Cathedral of Paris, which took 180 years to complete, is considered one of the very finest examples in the world of French Gothic architecture.
Once you arrive in Notre Dame, you get impressed by the magnificent entrance at the top of which is portrayed the meeting with the Lord and the Last Judgment.
The two main bell towers leave you speechless because of their height and their embossed decorations.
Getting into the cathedral, someone can admire the magnificent spiritual statues and the breathtaking stained glass windows, and especially the 3 rows ones, which date back to the 13th century.
I like this monument because it's a very famous and a typical architecture in Paris.
Its significance in the history of the city and the country. Did you know, for instance, that all distances in France are measured right from here?
This is the point zero, here in Notre Dame, the location where all the distances are traditionally measured. Louvre, the world's largest art museum, a culture encounter. 38,000 objects from all the historical eras exhibited over an area of 72,735 square meters, receiving 10 million visitors every year.
Every time I visit the Louvre, I become wiser. I believe it is a temple of art.
I actually like Mona Lisa and everything that we can have inside. Everything it's like French history.
It's one of the biggest museums in the world. It has also got a big Islamic section. It was a pleasant experience for me.
Each visitor will definitely stop at Mona Lisa of Leonardo da Vinci and admire her enigmatic smile, which still hasn't been unveiled. The ancient Greek sculpture of Venus de Milo, widely renowned for the mystery of her missing arms, must also be visited, as well as the magnificent sculpture of the winged Victory of Samothrace, which is considered as the greatest masterpiece of Hellenistic sculpture. These are the most valuable treasures of Louvre.
When you look at the great masterpieces, nothing else can occupy your mind. And that's like being in love, which is why it is so romantic.
Paris was meant to be experienced. It's unto itself one of the most beautiful cities ever created that continues to show itself off to the world.